Hey, welcome back everyone. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot and Astro Insights, and we are going to talk about the twin flame forecast for the week ahead. We're going to dig into the astrological transits. We're going to go deeper with some tarot and oracle predictions, but I do feel this week is bringing in some pretty powerful shifts connected to some deep transformative energies, and this is all rekindling passion within the twin flame journey. And so we just had Venus station retrograde in Aries on the weekend. We've got Mercury entering into Aries today. Shortly after it enters into Aries, we are going to have that sextile between Mercury and Pluto. We're going to have the Sun trine Mars this week, which is enhancing communication, connected to healing. There's going to be some sort of energetic activation that is going to be strongly emphasized, I feel, with that transit. So expect some very intense realizations. There's going to be breakthroughs at hand, and there is going to be communication, I feel, with a renewed sense of this inner drive to take action when it comes to aligning the inner masculine and feminine energies with these higher divine energies. So let's break it down each day that we have a transit. So Monday, March 3rd, we do have Mercury entering into Aries. This is a bold shift when it comes to communication. This is creating a pretty transformative collective impact, I feel, when it comes to thoughts, communication, perception, as it moves into fiery Aries after its transit through Pisces, which was very watery, and there was a lot of indirect communication. This is all about direct, impulsive action and communication. Everything is orienting in a whole new direction when it comes to conversations and the energies this week. And so the twin flame collective, I feel, is in this no nonsense transit. It's going to bring clarity, and it's also going to stir some type of heated discussion is what I'm feeling. They kept showing me the Knight of Swords, and so that's heated discussions without a doubt. And so there might be some pretty bold, what I want to say is confessions in the energies this week. There could be a bold confession or a message coming from the counterpart, or even it just could manifest as like a surge of inner confidence when it comes to speaking your truth, divine feminine. So I feel for the divine masculine with these energies connected to Mercury entering into Aries. This is going to be a shift where the masculine is likely going to feel more confident and assertive in his communications. This is going to trigger and activate a very strong urge to take action or to initiate contact or communication with the divine feminine, connected to these unspoken emotions towards her. And I feel there's a lot of impatience energy. There's a lot of anxiety being activated that's arising with the masculine collective when it comes to cutting through the delays and all of that uncertainty that we've been sifting through with Mercury transiting through Pisces. And so the masculines, I feel this could be the week where they finally speak up about their feelings, or even take those bold next steps towards alignment towards the divine feminine. We have to be mindful of this transit, because I do feel you are being shifted towards a deeper sense of clarity. And I feel this is all about setting boundaries for you. This is a week of setting boundaries and expressing your personal truth. So you're going to also maybe feel an urge to initiate communication or to initiate a conversation, especially around healing. But the biggest message that came through was closure. I am a Mercury in Aries, and so I'm feeling that closure energy. I did have a dream over the weekend connected to my counterpart, and it felt like a final goodbye. So I went to England, London, England last summer around the time of my counterpart's birthday. I actually did purchase him several souvenirs from England, even though we've been in no contact. And in my dream, he came to the house. In my dream, it was as if he was here in the physical reality. The dream was so vivid. The dream felt so real. And I basically kind of gave him the gifts that I purchased for him on my adventure overseas. And it did feel like a final goodbye. It felt like a closure. It felt like a completion. And we did choose to go our separate ways in that dream, which was a little bit heavy when I woke up from that dream. But I felt this is it. This is the precipice of that new beginning for my path. And so you're going to feel like a fire is being lit under your butt when it comes to your desires, especially connected to your soul mission and your soul journey, because I'm feeling that fire for sure. I've been revamping the channel, revamping all of the playlists and all of that when it comes to optimizing SEO searches for the channel. And so you're going to be inspired to take some type of independent action for your own journey, for your own mission work, I feel, this week. And there's going to be a lot of downloads coming through for the feminine. There's going to be a lot of channeled messages coming through, so stay tuned for that. And I do feel for the feminine, the synchronicities are going to intensify as you kind of gain these insights into the next steps that you need to take for your personal journey. So my advice to the twins: stay mindful this week when it comes to impulsivity, because this clarity is going to be powerful. And we don't want to act too quickly or too brashly, because that will create misunderstandings in all areas of our lives. So this is all about taking aligned action, not reactive action, okay? March 5th, we're going to have Mercury in Aries, sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And this is where the divine feminine fully awakens or fully enlightens. It's going to be at exactly 3 degrees, which is the energy of the Empress card. And so the collective impact of that shift is bringing forward deep transformative conversations. There could be aha moments, there could be epiphanies, there's going to be a lot of heightened intuition, and that Mercury fire meeting Pluto's depth in Aquarius of an air sign connected to manifesting the age of Aquarius is definitely going to trigger a profound shift in perceptions. Okay, and so this is strongly, I feel, connected to the Empress, connected to the divine feminine, stepping into her power, stepping into fertility, especially when it comes to your ideas, emotions. I kept hearing manifestation. And so the divine feminine collective, I feel, this week is going through a massive renewal, releasing old fears, releasing old wounds, and closing out these past cycles that kind of need to be cleared. So the divine masculine collective, I feel there's a lot happening with the masculine, though, with that shift too, especially connected to subconscious breakthroughs. And so they might even start receiving downloads that will also help shift their understanding of this connection. But I did feel this very strong pull to reach out to the feminine, but at the same time, there was a deep inner resistance that the masculine still kind of needs to work through with these transits. And I do think they are dealing with power themes, or themes of power and control issues as they go through their transformation. And all of this is coming up for the divine masculine to face their fears around being emotionally vulnerable. And they're definitely facing fears connected to trust. And so they've got to learn to surrender to the divine and to divine timing as well in the energies this week. But I do feel there could be sudden fated encounters, sudden fated communication could occur, but I do feel this is more prominently for those that have been in a long period of separation more than anything, okay? So divine feminine, you're kind of being activated this week, connected to deep healing and your own personal creative power. And so this Empress energy that's rising in the feminine collective is really calling the divine feminine to step into that role as a creator, as a conscious creator, as a nurturer, and as a spiritual leader. And so the feminines are going to be receiving profound downloads. I've already been receiving them. Usually it comes through in prophetic dreams. Might just be as simple as an intuitive nudge regarding this connection. But your manifestation power is turned on high this week is what I'm feeling. And so set those clear intentions, because your thoughts and your desires are going to be magnetically attracting in with this new energy. And so this really is a time period of deep inner work for the divine feminine, shadow healing, soul retrieval, releasing these past wounds tied to communication or power and control dynamics. And so the advice when it comes to that transit really is trust. Trust in the transformative energy. Trust that this really is activating almost like a divine upgrade for both of the twins in this connection. So stay open to the downloads, stay open to the messages, however they're coming forward, and get ready for an unexpected shift. On March 8th, the sun in Pisces is going to trine Mars in Cancer, which is now finally out of its retrograde energy, but we're still in the post-retrograde energies, but this is all about heart-led action, right? And so we're kind of gaining momentum, even though we're kind of in that post-retrograde energy. And so the sun, you think of the sun in Pisces, this is our consciousness, this is our vitality, this is divine light. And so we're kind of flowing harmoniously with the Mars in Cancer action, which is opening up the portal gateway of being driven towards passion, towards action. And so this really is bringing in a massive energy shift connected to healing and emotional renewal, especially within the Twin Flame Collective. And so this is a very powerful yet soft transit when it comes to momentum. And so how can you align with taking action from a place of emotional truth? This is about emotional truth. And so the divine masculine is going to likely feel more emotionally open, coming out of a very heavy retrograde period for them, I feel, of the dark night of the soul. And they're almost ready to take action, but this has got to be based on their heart's truth. And so I feel a lot of the masculines are emerging from that retrograde energy more emotionally mature when it comes to the aligned actions that they are being asked to take. And they're starting to learn how to act from their feelings rather than their ego or their logic, 1111 on the timer, or a place of avoidance, right? A lot of the masculines have an avoidant attachment style that they've got to work through. And so the masculines are definitely feeling pulled energetically and physically to show up, to support, and to protect the divine feminine in new ways. And so this is going to increase their vulnerability. This is going to increase a very romantic energy for the masculine. They're going to be connected to this heightened sensitivity. And don't be surprised if you sense their energy coming before they arrive. And they're going to be coming in more tender and more receptive if they've done the inner work during that Mars retrograde. So divine feminine, this is like the green light for you. You're getting the green light to take that action towards your purpose, towards alignment, towards new creativity, towards new passionate projects. And this inner desire, I feel, is being reignited when it comes to the hearth energy. And so you're going to feel more balanced when it comes to surrendering and taking initiative. You're kind of in a very powerful moment this week, I feel, when it comes to trusting in the divine, trusting in divine timing, all while making some very empowered power moves for your mission work. And so there's deep healing too for the divine feminine with this transit around inner masculine wounding, or even that father wound. And there could be tension coming up from past issues, but there's a softness. There is a very prominent reconciliation energy coming through on the feminine side. So you are encouraged to find your courage to keep moving forward and don't look back. Trust any inspiration that comes through. You're guided to take that inspired action. This transit is giving momentum for both of the counterparts, but without that force, without that forceful universal energy. So flow through the transits. Don't be afraid to step into your power. And so basically, this is going to be a week of breakthroughs. It's going to be a week of alignment. We're in a week that basically is a game changer for the Twin Flame Collective, especially with Mercury in Aries and Mercury sextile Pluto. The Sun trine Mars, I just feel this is a week of bold conversations, brand new perspectives, transformative realizations, especially for the divine feminine. I feel the masculines are stepping more into that heart-centered action this week. And we are in like an accelerated portal of these twin flame energies, and manifestations are finally starting to align. So trust in the divine orchestration of this journey, because everything is aligning exactly as it should this week. So we're going to go a little bit deeper with the cards. Hang on just a minute and we'll jump right into the card portion of the reading. Okay, let's jump into the card portion of the reading. I am using the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck. We cut the deck and we do get that Aries energy with the Chiron energy. And so we got to keep in mind, guys, this is very much connected to Chiron and Aries. So with all of this Aries energy coming in the month of March, it will all conjunct Chiron at a certain date and time. And so there is some deep-seated healing going on connected to the masculine collective. I almost feel a Two of Wands energy with the Magician. And so this is a week of healing these wounds, healing communication patterns, healing the divine masculine collective. So let's jump in and let's see what messages need to come through. We'll get a couple of these cards and then we will dig deeper into the tarot, into the masculine and the feminine energy. So what do you got for us for the week ahead, Spirit? What are the main energies connected to the twins? Beyond what we talked about with the astrology, what other astrological messages need to come through? And so there's been a fallout. You see the cards that fell out. This was the only card that came facing upward. So we're going to put the rest of these cards back in the deck. And we are going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to get one more card. What is this North Node energy? So we got to keep in mind, we do have the North Node transiting through Pisces. So this is a very karmic period of time. We've got quite a bit of Pisces energy still playing out in the astrology for now. And I almost feel this Eight of Wands energy connected to this accelerated journey. And so let's look at these cards, guys. We get the North Node energy to the semi-square quincunx tension aspect. And then on the bottom of the deck, we get the Sagittarius card. And so these energies are pretty loud. I do feel like an Eight of Wands, a Page of Wands energy. And so this communication might come through a little bit combative at the beginning of the week. So what I do feel with the North Node energy, which is all about future orientation, connected to this semi-square quincunx card, there is this energy of swift movement forward. There is this surge of energy, I feel, where maybe things have been stagnant or delayed. It's going to begin to pick up speed. I feel for the twins, this could represent rapid progress on the journey, especially when it comes to communication. But I do feel there's some type of breakthrough too, a breakthrough in communication. There could be energy to move through these old barriers, these old blocks. There's going to be a sudden change. There's going to be a sudden shift, and it's kind of going to be inevitable, especially connected to the North Node, which is fate. It's destiny, right? And so the North Node is connected to our collective purpose, our destiny. With it carrying this Eight of Wands vibration, it's kind of pushing us, I feel, pushing us towards these fated connections, towards forward movement, especially in alignment with divine timing. And so the current North Node's position in Pisces is activating movement, urging both of the twins to take steps forward towards their spiritual path, their spiritual purpose and mission. And so I feel there's going to be epiphanies, there's going to be shifts, and the way these interact for your own personal journey is going to be different for everybody, because there is some tension here for sure. There is communication. I do feel a Page of Swords energy. It's like a very inquiring, seeking energy when it comes to clarity, looking for maybe even an opportunity to communicate. But I feel there's a very strong possibility here of tension, almost like information overload, possibly overthinking a situation. There's a very dynamic energy coming through of this pushing and this pulling, where maybe one twin might feel the urgency to move forward, while the other twin might be in a state of hesitating and still be in the process of learning how to express their truth. And so if there is a tense aspect playing out between the twins this week, it could be connected to a difficult aspect in the natal charts, or it could just be connected to some challenging transits. But I do feel this could manifest as miscommunication. There could still be a little bit more delays. And I do feel maybe the masculine is still clouded by the past misunderstandings. And there is still this energy of a lack of emotional maturity. And I feel the North Node's influence really is kind of challenging and testing these fated connections as we're kind of both being pushed towards the soul purpose, right? And there is, I feel, this underlying growing pain connected to fear of vulnerability due to a past misunderstanding. So overall, I feel these cards are saying there's still some hesitation or tension on one or both sides. But the North Node energy is pushing both of the twins towards their destiny, towards greater alignment, which could mean confronting some very difficult truths. It could mean breaking down barriers finding the courage to communicate authentically despite the tension, right? It's never easy to be open and emotionally vulnerable. And let's be real here. I think the road ahead towards union could be a little bit bumpy at times, but both of the twins are being pulled to this soul alignment. And I think that is undeniable in these energies. So let's quickly touch base with the bottom of the deck. We got the Sagittarius card here, and this is all about expansion, and it is kind of connected to the Hermit, as you can see the 9 on the card. And so Sagittarius is actually ruled by Jupiter. We've got Jupiter in its opposite sign right now in Gemini, which is the detriment, which is still kind of coming out of that post retrograde energy. It is in forward movement, but we're in this portal, I feel, this week of higher learning. Sagittarius does represent the Archer energy. And so what I do feel is this reaching for higher truth, reaching towards moving towards this exploration, I feel, of freedom. I do feel there's going to be a lot of philosophical insights coming in, and I feel both of the twins are kind of being asked to seek the bigger picture. We're in a major portal of expanding our mind, understanding things from that higher perspective. And I feel, for me, when I think about expansion in context of the twin flame journey, the twin flame journey really is an energy that encourages us both to grow beyond our limitations. And this is about expanding the heart, right? To see the bigger picture of this connection, because the twin flame connection is a symbol of spiritual growth. We both go through this process in order to come into union. And so it's not just about expanding our understanding of this connection and this relationship, but it's also about expanding in our own personal growth journey, our own healing, and our own spiritual awareness. And so the Archer, I feel, is about aiming. We're being called to aim for the highest good, especially when it comes to that 8 of Wands energy connected to the North Node. There is this deep sense, I feel, of urgency. I feel urgency with Sagittarius being a fiery sign, a mutable fiery sign. This is about an initiation of some sort and giving both of the twins the power to move forward. So pay attention to Sagittarius energy in your chart, the house of Sagittarius. There might be a deeper message there for you, but I feel both of the twins are kind of being propelled towards a new phase of understanding. And so there could be tension connected to this pushing, pulling dynamic. You might feel like you're moving too fast. You might feel like you're not moving fast enough. But ultimately, I feel on the bottom of the deck, this really is an aim for the greater purpose, to expand beyond fears, to take those bold steps towards spiritual and emotional union. Okay, so let's go a little bit further here with some tarot messages, and let's dig into the Divine Masculine Collective first. What energies need to come through for the Divine Masculine? What is the message connected to the masculine? Well, we get the Magician card. We get Gemini energy. Bottom of the deck, we do get the 5 of Pentacles to the Page of Cups. And so right now, what I feel going on with the masculine is there's some type of an illumination about them needing to take a risk, needing to take a chance to balance out this connection. And so the 6 of Coins to the 2 of Coins, you add those two together and we do kind of get like an 8 of Coins here. And so they're, I feel, hesitant. They're on the fence when it comes to investing in this connection. The Sun is saying they are being reoriented on their path. I do feel since that full moon in Leo that we had, there was some type of an illumination going on. And I feel the masculines are being called to expand beyond toxic addictive cycles. They are being called to create balance and to communicate. We get Taurus, we get Libra energy, we have Capricorn, Leo, and below that we get the 4 of Wands. And so they are encouraged, I feel, to go forward here. They are encouraged to bring healing into this connection. Holy cow. And they are encouraged to rise as that divine masculine leader. So there's a lot going on with the masculine. I do feel there is still this sense of lack or abandonment. They are being called to bring forward an open-hearted message, quite possibly even an apology. And so I think the masculines are understanding that they too have the ability to manifest their reality. I think they're coming into this realization like, hey, I got to shed my old ways if I'm going to come forward and create balance. But I do feel the opportunity is here. The doorway is kind of open for the masculine to create a sense of union in these connections this week. So let's really break this down. I do feel with the first three cards here, the divine masculine has potential here this week to create real change. I do feel there's a sense that maybe he has been using his power incorrectly. And I do feel this is due to some past miscommunications, the emotional disconnect within the relationship with the counterparts. And I do feel he's kind of feeling the consequence. I feel the consequence of this imbalance, the consequence of his actions when it comes to leaving the feminine out in the cold, neglecting her, ghosting her, or abandoning her, basically shutting her out emotionally. And so this really is a huge suggestion of the lack of communication, of the emotional distance between the twins. And so the masculine kind of needs to acknowledge this gap before he can really address the wounds that he's kind of caused in this separation. And so the Page of Cups, I do feel, is saying the masculine is recognizing he needs to apologize. He needs to offer a heartfelt healing gesture to express his emotions. This could be a message of remorse. This could be an apology for his actions. This could even be an emotional confession. I do feel he's been withholding this, and now he's got to move to a state of emotional maturity. He's got to move into a state of emotional honesty. And I do feel this is preparing him to heal these wounds of abandonment or ghosting. That's kind of what I feel there. And then if we look at these cards here together, this combination of cards with the Six of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and the Sun card, okay? We look at these cards here, and I do feel this is a message of equity, equanimity, equal giving and receiving, right? And I do feel this is a big message about law of reciprocity. The masculine knows he has to show up. He has to be present. He has to give what the feminine has given to him. In return, there has to be an equal investment. And I do feel there needs to be balance, right? And I think right now there is like an emotional indecision energy, and the masculine's going to have to work through this internal conflict. He's going to have to gain that clarity about his sense of purpose, about his connection with the feminine, and he's going to have to bring forward that truth and that clarity. And so I do feel he's finally getting to the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel he's really recognizing all of the possibilities if he were to step forward into the warmth of this connection once again. And I feel with the Four of Wands, this is a huge symbol of union. There is huge potential for union, marriage, long-term commitment if the masculine can face all of these internal struggles as indicated, right? And all of these energies coming through. And so the Four of Wands does represent foundation. The foundation is here to go towards a lasting commitment, but it's going to take grounded action. It's definitely going to take grounded action, right? And then we get the Emperor with the Star card. And so this, I feel, represents just a powerful culmination of the masculine's journey and the readiness for the reconciliation, the readiness to take responsibility for his actions, to create order out of chaos, right? Because the masculine represents structure and order, especially in the context of this reading, right? So I kind of feel the masculine this week is likely going to be stepping into his full power. I think he's no longer going to be uncertain or indecisive. I think this is a huge, clear indication of the masculine maturing emotionally, ready to take the lead in this connection, ready to take the lead towards a secure and stable future. And I feel the star is just a huge symbol of hope. And so tying this all together, I feel we're at a major turning point for the twins, especially connected to the masculine. And I do feel he is prepared to step up. He's prepared to take responsibility. And I think he's prepared. I do think the masculine is prepared to take responsibility and to embrace healing. So let's put these cards up here and let's see what the energies are in contrast to this connected to the divine feminine. What do we got for the divine feminine spirit? What energies, what messages need to come through? Two of Wands. You are at a major crossroads. And so we do see Venus in Aries. Oh, no, Mars in Aries, but we do have Venus retrograde in Aries. So we do have Venus retrograde in a very masculine energy. And so I do feel the feminine is at a crossroads, is at a major turning point. Let's take a look at the bottom of the deck. Oh my goodness. And we get the Death card to the Ace of Pentacles, Divine Feminine, Scorpio energy, Earth energy. And then we're going to close it off here with the Queen of Cups. We'll take the Five of Wands. I feel you are feeling very conflicted. I think you know that this offer, this apology is coming, but you're feeling conflicted because I think the first time around the masculine come in hot and heavy, very passionate. When I think of seahorses, they do mate for life. They do, but they also mate for pleasure. And so I think you might be feeling conflicted. Like, is the masculine coming in just for another one-hit wonder or some type of sexual pleasure? And so you might be feeling restricted. I do feel, the heart wants what it wants. I think wish fulfillment is coming. And there is this energy of a completion of a major cycle for the feminine. And so you, I feel, are completing this death process. You're completing this transformational shedding. We are in the year of the snake. And I do feel as this cycle completes, there is like maybe even a windfall. There could be an inheritance coming your way. There's a golden opportunity for you to build massive, massive abundance. The Ace of Pentacles is like a gift from the universe. And I think this is coming up behind you. We see the Queen of Cups with the dolphins. Once again, dolphins mate for life. Dolphins mate for pleasure. We do see the Pisces energy, so you might have prominent Pisces in your chart. But I do feel there is going to be a big decision here that you need to make, Divine Feminine. So let's break this down. Divine Feminine, you are at a major crossroads. You are kind of standing at that threshold is what it feels like, connected to a new path, connected to a new journey. Maybe you're contemplating new possibilities or which direction it is you want to go in. I do think you're really considering the next steps you need to take when it comes to releasing these old patterns that maybe you've still been holding on to. Maybe you're unsure about embracing the future with the Divine Masculine after all is said and done. Perhaps you're thinking about going in a new direction entirely, right? Maybe this is about independence. I do feel this is a big week of personal empowerment for the Divine Feminine. This is about realizing your fullest potential, taking control of your future. And I think you definitely are weighing your options connected to the clarity that's going to be coming through this week. And I think you do understand the next steps you need to take on your own journey, right? And so when we get these three cards here, I feel in combination, the Death to the Ace of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, you're in a very transformative ending. You're going through or undergoing, I feel this week, a massive period of emotional release and purging, letting go of the old attachments to the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? And it's interesting. It's kind of like a paradox. As we let go and we shed any hope of reconciliation, that's usually when the tables turn or the energies flip. And so there is a deep sense, I feel, of rebirth. Releasing the old outdated ideas about yourself, who you are, maybe even this connection to the masculine. You're shedding your old self to make way for a new phase, right? A new phase. And I do feel this is a whole year for the feminine about tangible growth, new opportunities, a fresh new start, building that solid foundation for yourself in your personal life, in your career, with your finances. And I do think you're getting to a place of more stability. You're practically getting grounded, right? And the Queen of Cups, I feel, is a huge indication of emotional maturity, trusting in your intuition, really getting grounded in compassion, right? And knowing your place. The Queen of Cups can offer unconditional love, not only to the masculine, but to herself, right? You got to fill your own cup first, Divine Feminine. And so I do feel there's a lot of emotional clarity. You're getting to a place of a solid emotional foundation. You're ready, I think, for any new beginning. And this could be in connection to the masculine, right? But this energy here, I just feel like there's going to be internal conflict. There's going to be internal conflict connected to moving towards this connection. Is it really going to bring you emotional fulfillment? Because with that World card, there is a sense of completion. There is a sense of closing out cycles. And so you could be facing tension, maybe even chaos, right? This is feeling a little bit chaotic, Divine Feminine. And this is all due to the unresolved emotional tension between the two of you. And so there's a reluctancy or a hesitation. I feel maybe fear that the masculine hasn't really changed. It might take a lot of pursuing on the masculine's end. But I feel this could lead to spiritual fulfillment. But ultimately, the divine masculine has to offer up that cup of love. He's going to have to pursue you. He's going to have to prove to you that you are his heart's desires. He's going to have to find the strength, I feel, to fully express his emotions with a heartfelt gesture, right? And so I do feel, despite the internal conflict, you too are moving towards healing. And I think also healing your emotional expression. And so I feel you're at a stage on the journey where you're reaching completion. You're in this state, I feel, of achieving wholeness, which is in turn closing out this cycle. And so you're nearing the end of a very significant chapter in your life. So release the hesitation, release the internal conflict. Everything is being resolved and you are becoming wiser. Okay, so get ready this week to release everything that's no longer serving you, because you are getting ready for union, whether that's a new beginning with the counterpart in question or somebody that's going to be more aligned with your purpose and your higher mission. Either way, this is a completion of the journey for the feminine. You're moving into a new chapter where you have healed, you have grown, and you're ready to embrace the future. So I think the message is clear for the feminine. You're ready to release the past. You're ready to embrace a new opportunity, and you're ready to close out these old cycles. So it's like you're making way for new growth. You're making way for union and emotional fulfillment, whatever that might be. So let's close this reading off for the twins with a spiritual journey oracle card. What is the closing message for the twins, for the energies, for the week ahead? What do you got for a spirit? What's that closing message? What do we all need to hear? What do we all need to know? Because this is feeling pretty powerful. All right. Obstruction. There's going to be an obstruction here. Either way, I feel there's a roadblock here to overcome. There's going to be a challenge. We're going to have to understand this, right? And so roadblocks really are just asking us to find another solution, to find an alternative path. There may be a delay in order to protect you from something. On the bottom of the deck, we get the teacher card, and we do get the journey to fulfillment. And I got to take it below that. We get soul alignment. And so this is a week of integration. We're integrating these timeline shifts. We're integrating our soul's purpose. A lot is happening this week. And so you could be challenged by a situation here. And let me tell you, when it comes to the teacher, not many people realize that they're teachers for us, right? And they can teach us negatively. They can teach us positively. But I do feel there's a lesson here that needs to reach completion before both of the twins can step into that teaching role. And so I do feel this is a situation with somebody else other than the counterpart. And it's like opening up the box of darkness. And so you might need to protect yourself as a lesson reaches completion. But ultimately, this is a week of fated, destined shifts and a journey towards fulfillment. And so there could be a negative influence here where both of the twins need to take charge of a situation, need to take charge of their destiny and soul alignment. And so I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I wish you luck in the week ahead. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this message. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time.